What's up, y'all? This is Propel Hitting, and welcome to Drill of the Week. What's up, y'all? Back at it again, Hitting Drill of the Week. Super pumped. You should be too. All right, so right here, we've been doing some isolation work the past couple weeks, right? And really just what the reason we do that is because we just want to be able to break it down. We want to be able to simply work on things so we can feel, just like what's going on. And when we isolate stuff, right, we don't have to worry about so many different parts. So that's why we've been kind of doing those isolation marks, right? Because everybody wants to know about the hands or how they can fix them or how they can make them better or how they can anything. And one of the best ways to do that is drills that kind of isolate the movements and enable you to just feel, okay, this is kind of what I want my body to be doing. This is what it's actually doing. And then kind of like, let's work to bridge that together, okay? So we're gonna hit on two primary things with this drill. It's kind of it's more relaxed, right? But it's also gonna be a challenge. And so there's gonna be some pitfalls that you don't wanna get into with it, right? That we'll hit on in just a second. But the two principles that I want you to think about, right, is bridging feel and reel. So making those as close as we can and trying to do as little as possible to hit the ball the hardest, farthest, best that we can, okay? So I'm gonna jump over here, get kind of set up while you're waiting to do that, right? We'll get ready and then we'll kind of dive into those topics a little bit more and then show the drill and then go, all right? So here we go. Okay, so I jumped over here to get ready to do this thing and kind of show it to you, but let's dive into those two things that I threw at you right before, right? So we want to bridge. We want to bring feel and reel as close together as possible. And number two, do as little as possible to hit the ball the best. Okay, so let's break down the first one. So, everybody's got a feel, right? You see people do them on decks. You see people, think, I'm thinking this when their barrel's doing something different, right? All of those are kind of feels or cues or mindsets or whatever you want to call it, right? But a simple way to remember it is a feel. We don't want there to be a huge gap between what we feel and what's actually happening in our swing, right? We want that to be as close together as possible, okay? And so that's really important, and that's something I want you to think about, right, as we're doing this drill, okay? So secondly, try to do as little as possible to hit the ball best. I gotta give my boy, Joey Lewis, the Hit Lab LLC on Instagram credit. That's his quote. We're doing like a college hitters group on Monday nights, and he's a part of that. He dropped that nugget on that, and so it was really good, right? We had a discussion about it, so I want to make sure I give him credit for that. So essentially, we want to be able to get to a place where we don't have to overwork to hit the ball. Okay, we want it to be smooth, fluid, all these different things, right? And so just think about that. I want to be able to do whatever that is, right? There's not a scale of that, but I want to be able to do the least amount possible to have hit the ball the best, right? So Joey said do as little amount as possible to hit the ball 405, okay? So essentially that's just okay, I want my movements, everything that I do with the ball, I want to be able to have the least amount of effort as possible to have the best result, okay? Because max, I would say not max effort, that's wrong. Just overexertion effort is overexerting, trying to do too much is the opposite of what we want. We want, a lot of times our body will do things right. A lot of times our body will move right. And so it's our responsibility to kind of find hey, I gotta make sure that this goes together with how my body wants to naturally move, okay? So those are two things before we get going, okay? So I'm gonna set this drill up, then I've got some clips of me doing this. I'm gonna slow it down so you can kind of see a couple different things, maybe do a voiceover of that, right, to kind of go behind it. So essentially, all we're doing, right, is we are doing, ground soft toss, okay? And so all that means is you're gonna get in your finished position, right? So wherever your stride lands, wherever that is, right? You're gonna get there and you're gonna get here and you're gonna toss the ball down and swing and hit it, okay? So again, this is not a drill where you should be sweating profusely. This is a drill where you're trying to move as crisply and as cleanly as you can to hit the ball well, okay? And you'll be able to feel well off the barrel, right? And so like that's what we're trying to do, right? So it's just here, toss, other hands comes back, gets on the bat, right? And so what I'll tell you is you will probably mess this up when you first start. Not a big deal, okay? So the big thing is don't get here and then try to do a full swing because you're gonna rush, you're gonna do this, right? But what it also can teach you is like, man, if I get here, like I've got so much time and I'm so good to the ball, even if you have things wrong with your swing, that man, like that power of knowledge will just can completely transform how you look at the swing and how you look at your own swing, right? So it's just planted, bounce, swing, okay? So, there, right? And so now there's gonna be some variance because it hits the ground, it's gonna bounce, it's gonna hit a seam, do all that other stuff, right? Don't get frustrated. Try to find a feel, right? A cue that's close to real, that's gonna help you hit this ball solidly. So that's what we're trying to do with that, right? It's gonna take you, be patient. Give yourself some time to get used to it, okay? So let's go look at those other clips kind of slowed down so you can kind of see what we're trying to do. Okay, so see, there's some examples kind of slowed down, right? So I found a cue when I was doing it, right, where I really kind of felt something in my glute, right? And I just, as soon as the ball got there, I moved that to the ball and let that pull my hands, right? So that's what worked for me. That really helped me just be able to be very fluid and help my feel and reel be very centered, okay? So you can use the, feel and reel being close and as little effort as possible to hit the best you can use that with anything, not just this drill, okay? So, but those are the big things. Bring feel and reel closer. Try to do as little as possible to hit it the best. Those are the two big things I want you to take away from this, right? And embrace this challenge, right? And it'll be a little bit frustrating, but if you'll stick with it, you will find something that helps you feel there, right, to be able to do my best swing, okay? So I like it because it's got variance, right? It's not gonna bounce perfectly. If it bounces way off, just take it, don't worry about it. It's too far inside, don't worry about it, just take it, okay? So that's what this is trying to do, right? And so what we're trying to do is keep growing so we can keep giving you stuff. So subscribe, comment, share, like, do all that awesome stuff so I can keep seeing you, you can keep seeing me, and we can keep growing and getting better together. All right, baby. See y'all.